So we're talking about your girthy hips, right?
Yes. Did you know that the average American man swallows an average of at least 6 chimpanzees in his sleep every decade?
The average American man swallows an average of
Six
six American
American chimpanzees per decade.
Really?
Yes, it's a scientific fact because everybody's all scared about spiders, but like spiders would fit in your mouth.
Okay. Did you know that
they just crawl right in there?
Did you know that your chances of being killed by a gorilla are always very low, but never zero? Think about that.
Don't gorillas kill more people than sharks?
Not Harambe. He's Katie. He's 0-1.
Harambe didn't kill
He's
anybody.
0-1 right now.
He just died.
He's still in the lobby waiting for that respawn to hit.
R.I.P. in peace, Harambe. We miss you.
Talking about, man, you went
What?
You went pretty far into the meme graveyard for that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So you know how we ended last week's episode and I talked about my girthy hips for the second week in a row?
Yeah, this guy broke my freaking chair.
It's split right down the middle.
This antique chair. I don't know if it's antique. I know that we've had it since...
wheels on the bottom. Wheels weren't invented until like 1980, so it can't be that old.
Let's see here. Well, my dad's older than 1980, and my mom, actually.
So your mom and dad watched the invention of the wheel?
Yes.
That's actually pretty
The
cool.
wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. But it's split like right down the middle. So it's like sitting on 2 separate chairs. The back's still connected, but the base is split in half.
It's gonna pinch your
if
butt
I
cheeks
move
together.
my legs, it's gonna pinch my butt cheeks really bad, and I'm kind of scared. Speaking of scared, you should follow us on social media.
Because you should be scared if we find out you're not following us.
We only have 2 followers on Twitter, and it makes me sad.
Yeah, one of them's you, and the other one's your sister.
Yeah, so we only have 1 real follower on Twitter. Our Twitter is at Maybe the Podcast. That is at Maybe the Podcast.
Maybe.
MAYBETHEPODCAST. Please follow us because it would give Jacob a good ego boost.
Yeah, it would, because I made a really funny post the other day, and nobody is around to appreciate it.
Some of that sentence was true. You definitely did make a post the other day.
It was funny.
Okay.
You encouraged it.
Yeah, I did. We're on Facebook, but I'm assuming everybody that hears this has seen us on Facebook. We're Maybe the Real Podcast, because I'm pretty sure they didn't allow us to use the whole thing. Actually, I'm going to check that before I use my incorrect information. I have 4 pages I'm a part of, because I am part of our work, my job's Facebook. I'm part of this Facebook. I'm part of a worship band Facebook, and I'm part of Chicken and Hymns Facebook.
The Chicken and Hymns Facebook is like a graveyard, but I keep getting notifications that
People are
say
still liking
we
it.
have new views. Chicken and Hymns is a little ministry that we do where we sing hymns, we eat chicken. We haven't really posted anything
Mostly
in it.
just me and you because nobody else shows up. So yeah, we. So on Facebook, we are at Maybe the Real Podcast, but our full title actually is Maybe the Real Podcast was the friends we made along the way.
Hey, dude, it's 11 o'clock. Make a wish.
I keep making my puzz, and they're like peeking, so I'm going to have to fix that somehow.
It's 11 p.m. Make a wish.
It didn't work.
I'm still alive, aren't I?
You are still alive.
Yes!
Wishes don't really work.
Only Jesus Christ does.
I don't think that you can say that.
Why not?
I don't think you can.
Speaking of Jesus...
Topher Grace tried that in Spider-Man 3. He said, God, please kill Peter Parker. And you know what happened?
He got dead.
He did not, and then he died. So don't know. You can't make wishes upon Jesus Christ. It doesn't work like that.
I didn't wish
It doesn't work like that.
I said the power of Jesus Christ works. By the way, everybody, happy Easter, even though that's next week.
And your service was probably canceled. I'm sorry.
Hey, just do what we're going to do and probably
watch it on Facebook.
Watch it on Facebook.
I'll probably play it some church service thing online. It'll be great.
You'll have to go and use the...
I'm drinking water. And I'm drinking a frappe at the same time.
Yeah, because everywhere else is closed at 10 o'clock.
We went to go get gas at the 24-hour Casey's at 10:01 and they were closed at 10, but they still let us get gas. Well, it was like
They would only let us get gas.
It was like 9:58, I'm pretty sure, when you started pumping gas, so they legally had to give you gas or whatever. But we went in and paid for it at 10:01, and they wouldn't let us buy anything else. And I really wanted to get some drinks, some energy
I wanted
drinks.
a double-decker fudge round.
I wanted a NOS grape energy drink. I don't really like grapes or grape flavoring very much, but I really like the NOS grape flavor. It depends. Grape and watermelon are two really weird flavors that it's hit or miss depending on
Guess they never miss, huh?
depending on what food you eat. Is how good they're gonna be.
Oh yes, I enjoy a watermelon nos with my chicken
There's no such thing
parmesan.
as watermelon NOS.
Whatever. Watermelon Jolly Ranchers with my chicken parmesan.
Watermelon
They
Jolly Ranchers are
complement.
good though.
They complement each other very well.
Chicken parmesan.
Chicken
So
permission.
we told everybody about our social. Oh yeah, we're on YouTube. Maybe the real podcast. Our views on the second video are worse than the first one, so y'all aren't watching enough.
We're
so
disappointed
I put a lot of effort into making that one image that plays the whole entire video.
because we don't have the luxury of a third friend. We don't have any friends at our disposal that will edit for us.
I mean, I could just do it ourselves or myself if we had a camera, and we don't have a tripod, and both of us use our phones too much to actually sit there and record it.
Yeah.
I probably don't have space on my phone to record
I might.
an hour's worth of video.
I have that extra. I pay that 99 cents a month for
If
the
that's
50
something-
gigabytes of storage.
I actually do too. If video is something our people would enjoy, subscribe to us on Patreon. No, we don't have a Patreon.
well,
But I mean, actually, if people would watch this or listen to this more, if we had video instead of just audio, I mean, I'd be willing to do it.
I'd
I'd have to start putting on more makeup in the morning, but
I think video would be a good
you'd
idea.
have to shower at least every other day.
Yeah. I have to cover up my horrible mole problem.
Yeah, you'd have to actually put on a shirt, you heathen.
I am wearing a shirt.
That's a perfect segue into Doom Eternal.
Oh, yeah. So I bought Doom Eternal yesterday, like a week after it actually came out.
Yeah, yeet.
Because
if you buy it at Walmart, buy brand new games at Walmart, it's at least $10 cheaper than buying it anywhere else.
yeah, so
This is a really crunchy frappe.
So Doom Eternal. I'm impressed by the game. It's an improvement on 2016.
I want a Mountain Dew too, so you keep talking. I'm gonna go get a third drink.
Well,
Talk about the game.
kids, I tell you. So the game, I would say, is definitely an improvement on 2016. They definitely added a lot of new mechanics that bring a lot more to the table as far as what you can do combat-wise. I actually think there's less guns in the game because
You haven't got all the guns yet, though.
I only have one more spot on my weapon wheel.
Oh, I guess the pistol's gone. There's
Yeah, they got rid of the pistol.
pistol.
R.I.P. in peace.
R.I.P. in peace, Harambe, and the pistol.
Rip and tear till it's done. But yeah, I like the game, and if it's really not comparable to 2016, I don't think, because it's almost like a completely different game. A lot of people are complaining about the platforming elements. I don't
If you
mind
don't know
it.
what platforming is, that means you run around and jump. You gotta jump from one thing to another. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. It's a great game. I
Just in
recommend
case
it.
my grandma decided to start listening again after halfway through the first episode. Platforming is when you jump from one platform to another.
Yeah, it's all the gratuitous violence and killing that you could wish for. It's great.
But they're zombies. They're demons. You're not murdering people.
It's a game. Batman would appreciate it because you're not killing people
Yeah, Batman has no qualms with killing aliens.
or doomsday clones or
Yeah, as long as it doesn't have a human face, he'll murder it.
Yeah.
Unless he's any Batman from any movie ever, because he murders
to
people.
directly quote a Batman comic I once read. I'll kill an alien kid. I don't care.
I don't think you read that. I don't think you've ever read a Batman comic book.
I have one sitting on the table right over
But
there.
you never read it. I never watched you read the Batman comic book.
You're right. So I never did it ever.
I believe it.
Well, you never.
You can't read.
Guys, this is supposed to be a secret. You're not supposed to tell people I can't read.
Man, we keep peeking. I'm going to have to put a limiter on us or something.
Nobody can contain us.
Chase was complaining about the audio
You just
quality.
doxed him.
I just said his name. I didn't say his last name. he was complaining about the audio, so I'm trying something different, and we keep peeking. So I stop saying words with P in it or say D instead. We keep deacon
Deacon.
instead of peeking.
Deacon, like the church guys. Deacons.
We could watch Pinocchio after this.
Go for a stroll in the dark.
Well, it's dark outside, so that works.
Yeah, we decided to record at night this time because some reason.
We were too lazy to record it earlier on today.
Yeah, you know why we didn't record earlier today? Because we were busy watching our weekly fill of bad media, and this week we chose to go with the 2005 film Doom in spirit of Easter and the new game coming out. We decided to
spirit of Easter.
We decided to watch Doom.
I mean, I guess
Doom
did start fighting the zombies because they killed his bunny, and like
Easter bunny.
45% of people think Easter's about a rabbit that gives out eggs. So I mean, I don't know if that's a real statistic, so don't check me on that.
But yeah, so we watched the 2005 Doom,
the unrated version, extra 15 minutes of footage,
which did absolutely nothing. We didn't notice anything because we never watched the rated version, I guess. But
yeah, the rated. I mean, they probably just have more. I don't know what
we saw. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson say the F word at least 3 times.
Yeah, at least this was like pre. So this is small Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
This is like
as in compared to current day Dwayne Johnson, he's small, but compared to literally any other human being on the face of the planet, he's still enormous. But he's not like enormous.
He had a stupid tattoo on his back in the movie that said "Semper Fi."
Because he says that later on.
Semper Fi, mother effer.
What did that mean?
I mean, that's something to do with the Marines. I don't know.
I looked it up and then I forgot what it meant. But yeah, that was the line he said. Semper Fi, mother effer, because he turned to a bad guy.
Yeah, he was a pretty good guy, likable character up until the last half hour of the movie.
Yeah, that last half hour was kind of. I honestly didn't dislike the movie. Like, it was fun.
Rotten Tomatoes has what, a 16% on it, and it's not a 16% movie.
It felt like an like Walmart brand version of if you combined Alien and a Predator. So it's like if you take the Predator team and you have them hunt the alien. That's kind of what it felt like to me.
Yeah,
except with zombies.
Yeah, so I get why people don't like it, because you think Doom and you think blood, guts, gore.
There's a single guy fighting a bunch of zombies, like
not even demons, because instead of like they go to Mars and they like unleash a portal to hell and there's actual demons coming through, they go to Mars, discover that there was some ancient civilization that had a 23rd chromosome that
24th.
Yeah, 24. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a 24th chromosome that I almost said extra chromosome, but that's something different.
That is something different.
They have 24 chromosomes, and they.
That was definitely not a hot fart. Wow. They've been quiet this whole time. That one was the only one that was audible.
Oh, great.
But there's a 24th chromosome that if you have a gene in your body that says you're inherently good, you get superpowers. And if you have a gene in your body that says you're going to be evil, you turn into a monster.
So
literally everybody turns evil except one guy.
Yeah. So, and you've made the point earlier, like the cast that plays like the squadron of Marines, it kind of makes you guess like who's actually Doom guy.
Yeah.
Because like it could be The Rock, it could be who else? Carl Urban, who, if you don't know, is on the Amazon show The Boys.
He's also the dude with the shaved head in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
With the guns, lightning and thunder, or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Yeah, Carl Urban's in it.
He's I think he's the Doctor in the Star Trek, the new movies that are supposed to be the original TV show. I think he's not Scotty. Scotty's not the. I don't know. He's in that too.
I think we'd be a lot more credible if we did more research before.
I don't want to do research. That takes too much work.
That's homework. This is not homework.
I mean, we watched this movie like 4 hours ago and I barely remember it. You think research is going to help? Excuse me.
So yeah, the whole squadron of Marines, you're kind of wondering who is actually Doom guy. or Doomslayer or whatever.
Maybe the real Doom guy was the friends we made along the way.
But in the end, it turns out to be, spoiler alert, Carl Urban.
Oh, yeah.
What?
His name was Kyle Urban.
Carl.
Oh. Oh, well.
Anyway, so they inject him, like he gets shot and he's about to die. Spoiler alert.
That came out 15 years ago.
Yeah, and it's inherently a bad movie, so nobody's going to watch it except us.
Nobody's interested in... Yeah, nobody cares.
So he gets shot and they inject him with this 24th chromosome.
Because
And
apparently you could just turn it into a sauce that you can inject in somebody.
yeah, it looks like water.
The 24th
It literally-
chromosome
it literally-
sauce.
Like, I guarantee you, like, when they made that prop, they just put water in a little vial
The
and
24th chromosome gravy.
the
You
marinade.
just put gravy on mashed potatoes and it either gives you superpowers
Or
or
you
turns
turn-
you into a zombie.
Yeah, so he gets injected with this, and so basically it'll give you, like, you can
Heals really fast.
you can heal fast, you have
and you're
increased
stronger
strength and
whatever, yeah.
reflexes and whatever. And after he gets injected, the movie goes to a first-person perspective.
Like the actual game.
Which, you know, it's kind of a cool Easter egg, little fan service there, which I didn't mind. I thought it was kind of cool. I think that the monsters, the way they behaved in that first-person scene,
It was
they're
neat,
little-
but it
was goofy.
It felt awkward all at the same
like,
time.
it felt like whenever he came to a monster, it just kind of stood there and looked at him until he attacked it.
Yeah, well, especially there was that one they turned around, he just stood there and went until he shot him.
One started just laughing at him. One came at him with a chainsaw and just, like,
That was cool, though.
started smacking it on the ground. I don't know.
Yeah, chainsaw. But The Rock gets the 24th chromosome too, and instead of turning into a zombie like literally everybody
gets
else,
he
he
pointy
just gets
teeth.
pointy teeth and strong.
Stronger. He's
And then
already
he gets blown up. So I mean, it was
the
my
teleport.
favorite villain from the Doom franchise, The Rock with spiky teeth.
The 24th chromosome.
Because that's less goofy than demons. I don't understand.
And like I said, I get why people inherently didn't like it, because they thought Doom, they were expecting like a straight up
I get
adaptation of the first game or whatever, because it's based on Doom 3, which came out like a year before this movie, and Doom 3 is not really that good of a video game.
to Doom fans though.
No.
Doom 3 has really good reviews from everybody else.
Yeah, but if people who expected it to be like just like the first two games, they don't like it.
It's like if they made a new Lego Star Wars game and it just had none of the same mechanics as the old Lego Star Wars game, but it was still a good game.
Yeah.
That's what the new Doom... And which, I don't understand why the Doom movie didn't get good critic reviews, because I didn't think it was that bad of a movie.
There were a couple lines where I thought, okay, that the delivery could have been better.
There was not a single line delivered as bad as "Now dig on this" from Spider-Man 3.
And you like
and
that
Spider-Man
movie.
3 has like a 60% on Rotten Tomato, or like 70 or something.
What does Aquaman? What does
16.
Aquaman have? Because
Aquaman's like 85 or something, isn't it?
because you know the young Aquaman, does she not love me? That line, that was the one point in that movie where I kind of thought, ooh, that was kind of gross.
Aquaman on Rotten Tomatoes has... It's taking forever to load because it's nighttime and your Wi-Fi slows down when it's dark out. 66%. Oh, I guess I have...
The Wi-Fi gets sleepy at night.
It's got a 66% audio or critic score, which I think would have been reasonable for this movie.
Yeah, it's not a 16% movie.
No, I don't.
Unless like the standards for action movies was different 15 years ago.
It was dark. Almost all of the effects were practical, not CGI, and so like even the iffy effects looked fine because it was dark. It's like the original Alien. The one shot where he's actually, you can see the whole alien, you go, oh yeah, that's a dude in a suit. But the whole entire time you don't think that because it's in the dark. And that's kind of what this did, is that it obscured everything well enough that it looked good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought it was strange that it's got such bad reviews. It was like review bombed.
You know what's stupid is that this movie has such bad reviews, but from what we've both heard and read, Doom Annihilation is like 10 times worse.
The sequel / reboot.
It's
is way, like, according to what I've been hearing, is way worse, but it's got like a 60% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Which makes no sense because, well, we watched a video on it earlier, this guy pointing out all the stupid parts of it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. We haven't watched it yet,
No, we might watch it. We still gotta. We promised. Well, we didn't promise. We said we were gonna watch all the Ninja Turtle movies and talk about them.
Haven't gotten to that
We
yet.
haven't got around to it. We only have 4 left.
We have all 3 of the live action ones and TMNT.
Yeah.
And no, Turtles Forever. So we have 5.
Turtles Forever and Batman versus the Ninja Turtles to watch again.
So 6.
We'll see how that goes. So we did that. That was today, though. We just watched that today.
Yeah.
Throughout the week, we watched. What did we watch? We watched Teen Titans Judas Contract. So we watched the next movie in.
Which one did we skipped one?
No, we didn't. Oh, I guess technically we skipped Suicide Squad Hell to Pay because I don't have it.
But there's no continuity with the rest of the... Well, there is.
There's continuity. It's surprise. Like, I don't want to ruin it because I know what happens, but there's like, oh, this is going... it's a really neat callback to one of the first movies in the universe.
Which one is it? It's another Suicide Squad. The Assault on Arkham. That's not in this universe?
No, that one's...
or is that Arkham universe?
That one's based on the game, so it's like in universe with the Arkham Asylum games. But we skipped that because we don't have it. But it doesn't really... it doesn't bother the main storyline. Like, nothing actually gets affected by it. But Teen Titans, the Judas Contract, it's got kind of meh. Like, people are kind of upset about. Like, it's kind of like what the Doom movie should have been reviewed. Like, it's got good reviews, but the people who are fans of the actual comic book it's based on were kind of upset.
So basically, what they're doing is what Star Wars fans have kind of done to the sequels.
Kinda. The thing is, with these movies, they've been changing things to help fit their universe. So, like, Damian Wayne isn't in the Judas Contract story because it was written in the 80s, and neither was Blue Beetle. Like, they had to change a bunch of characters to help fit into the universe, and that made people kind of upset. A couple of the movies, they've changed the twist, so that way you won't expect the twist. Like,
so they just kind of change the ending of the story so like people who have read the comics aren't like, oh, I saw that coming.
Yeah, but also people get upset because they're like, oh, they changed it from the original, but it's still just as good. Hush, they changed the ending too. I'm not gonna tell you what. Like, I've seen it and I know, but you're gonna be surprised because it's not who you think it is.
It's not Tommy Elliott?
No.
Oh.
And what's the other movie? I don't know if they changed like a twist in this one. I didn't think about that. Gotham by Gaslight.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that too.
There's a twist that you won't see coming, and it also, well, it doesn't take place in universe, but they changed it just to make it more streamlined. I think it's a really cool twist. I want to watch it, though.
You know what they shouldn't have changed?
What?
The first 20 minutes of The Killing Joke.
The first 20 minutes of The Killing Joke is bad.
It's literally 20 minutes of exposition, and then the exposition's done, and guess what?
Nobody ever talks about it.
Nobody talks about it again. It has no bearing on the rest of the story.
So, in The Killing Joke...
well, it's
in the Killing Joke is this Batman Joker comic that explores
with Batgirl.
Well, no, Batgirl's not in it. That's the thing.
Well, the beginning of the movie, it's like Batgirl's in it, and it's going into like why she is mad at. Like, they go to this whole thing where they're pursuing this villain who's made up for this one extra 20 minutes of the movie.
Paris Franz,
and
she's chasing him, and Batman's like, "Hey, don't do that because he's really got it out for you." And she goes, "Nah, I'm gonna do it anyways."
He gets mad at her. She quits the team,
and then they get together, and it's weird because they're like 15 years apart.
Yeah, they hook up one night on the top of a skyscraper.
I thought that was really dumb. So that's not in the actual Killing Joke is like really well regarded because it shows the origins of the Joker. But then at the end, you find out that maybe that wasn't even true.
Yeah, it's like it's classic Joker. It's like, oh, everything he said could have been a lie the whole time.
And he's trying really hard to convince Gordon, or try to make Gordon go insane because he's trying to go, oh yeah, you just have one bad day and you'll go insane. So he shoots Gordon's daughter and paralyzes her, and she just so happens to be Batgirl. So the filmmakers thought, oh, let's add 20 minutes of Batgirl stuff so that way you feel more bad when she gets shot. But it doesn't add anything to the story. Like, the story, as soon as the comic book actually begins and then it plays through, is great. But the first 20 minutes is stupid. Plus, yeah, it's just dumb. And I think it's dumb, and I think it's very stupid. But the rest of it's really good. And I'm not going to spoil that because I think that's pretty good. And if you're going to watch it, just skip the... You can look online and they'll probably tell you exactly where to skip. And
but I mean, it's not like it's written badly. It's just very unnecessary. It's like the first, 20 minutes of Batman v Superman?
All of Batman v Superman was unnecessary. I still liked it though because there was lots of punching.
Lots of violence. But Yeah.
We watched a couple more episodes of Dragon Ball, but honestly, I don't remember how far we got the last
So
episode.
where we left off was like, so Trunks had come back, given Goku the virus thing for his heart.
Oh yeah, Goku was gonna have a heart attack, or
Yeah.
was having a heart attack, and then
Yeah.
he drank some juice to make himself better.
Yeah. Oh, so your favorite character Yamcha refuses to say dead.
And he might get it, so he's gonna also take us. Oh yeah, he hasn't drank it yet.
No, they're on the way to Goku's house so he can take the medicine and not die.
Yeah. So it's good so far. I don't really remember a lot of it. We need to watch more of it so I can like refresh my brain. I discovered that I went online. I was just looking on Amazon because I like to look on Amazon, and I saw that I don't know if it's because you have Prime or because I have Prime or if it's because the coronavirus stuff or what, but Amazon Prime, like Kindle, whatever, it's like a subscription thing.
Yeah.
Is free for 2 months, and so I got 2 months of that, and there's a bunch of comic books on it, and so I read the first like 7 issues of Spawn because I'd never done that, and they just added him to Mortal Kombat, and it's really interesting, and I thought it was really good, because like Spawn #1 was like one of the best selling comics of like the 90s or whatever, and it's like one of the best selling independent comics other than the Ninja Turtles. And so that was really good, and I read through like the first 6 issues. I started watching the animated series that they also did on HBO, and it's like almost beat for beat the exact same thing as the comic, except they add the F word like every other line. Like the comic is actually pretty tame, like
Language wise,
like language wise and like visuals. It's not really that graphic. Like there's kind of like creepy designs, but there's never like guts and gore. But then this animated series kind of has the guts and the gore, and it's got language and like weird stuff, and it's like they're trying too hard, I think. I think
they're trying too hard to be edgy about it.
I think the comics honestly better, and it was just like a couple years before the actual before the animated series came out. So I think it's kind of
Spawn is
dumb.
voiced by Keith David, yes.
That's really good.
Who also voices him in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that was smart.
What else is Keith David? If any Modern Warfare 2 fans, he's Sergeant Foley in Modern Warfare 2.
Is that the one that just got re-released like yesterday?
Yeah.
So Modern Warfare 2's campaign
just the it's like $20 you
re-released.
get it remastered for current gen consoles.
It's just on PlayStation right now. You have to pre-order it for other systems, I think.
Okay, well, I mean, so then I can get it.
I think that's pretty cool. I never played the games, but I think it's cool for other people.
Like if you
I wish they'd do that for more games.
Honestly, like Modern Warfare, like I know the multiplayer servers are like either they're shut down or they're so hacked they're impossible to play. But that campaign, like it hits every time. It is like one of the best video game campaigns, spawning over 3 different games, and there's an airport massacre. I'm not gonna go into that.
I'm really bad. I'm not a big fan of first-person shooters because I'm bad at them. I don't know. I don't like the first-person view very much.
You like Doom?
I'll play Doom, but even Doom I'm bad at.
I'm awful at
Doom
Eternal.
I'm really bad at overshooting things. So like if I turn, I will go way too far left or way too far right and like miss. I'm really bad at constantly looking at the ground because that's how I walk in real life because I'm tall, and so I'm just always slouched over and looking at the ground. So that's what I do in the game. And so like monsters will come up or guys will come up and shoot me and I'll be bad. So I'm not a big first person shooter fan.
So one more thing on Doom Eternal. So we have taken our stupidity to a next level with Doom Eternal because I was sitting there playing it yesterday, and so there's a bad guy in there called the Arachno Demon, and it's basically a giant brain with spider legs
and a big gun on his back
and a turd on his back. And
You
Daniel
say turret or turd on his back? It's a
Yes.
turret.
Tourette's on his
I don't
back.
think
So Daniel just starts going off, and he says, "You gotta shoot John C. Riley." And I looked at him, and I'm like, "Why'd you call him John C. Riley?" And he could not give me an answer for why he called
I
me.
still don't know why I called him John C.
And then
Reilly.
he had to look. He didn't even know who he was. He had to look up. He's like, "Oh, he's a dude who was Wreck-It Ralph. Oh, he's in Step Brothers. Oh man."
So I'm terrible with names. Like I can't remember literally anybody's name, and so I don't know why John C. Riley came to my head. So now every villain in
Is
the
a
game,
famous John.
we have named different Johns. We got John Goodman,
John Philip
C.
Sousa.
Riley, John Philip Sousa, John Cena,
John
John
Travolta.
Mulaney, John Travolta. We're running out of Johns though, so
I feel like we left some out.
we gotta expand because you keep getting more villains, and we're running out of. So if you got any good Johns,
Let us know.
Let us know. Post on Facebook or something.
Please.
We need more for our collection. Another fine addition to my collection.
I feel like we left a John out there.
That's fine. Star Trek. So after I
Good
talked
segue.
after I talked about my dad watching Star Trek Voyager and
Hi, Dad.
Enterprise so much. Hi, Dad. I was like, oh yeah, that's on Hulu. And I went and I watched like 2 episodes of The Next Generation.
I thought you were going to say Sonic X for a second.
No, I watched 2 episodes of The Next Generation. I was like, wow, this is really good. And then I watched the pilot episode of Voyager. I think I might like Voyager better. I think I like Jean-Luc Picard. Like, he might be one of my favorite Star Trek characters, but I think as a whole show, I think I might like Voyager better. But I started watching both. I bought the first season of The Next Generation on eBay on Blu-ray, and it's supposed to come here because the Wi-Fi here is too slow to stream very well. It takes like 2 hours to get through 45 minutes worth of content. I guess I did get. They just released for U.S. cellular users. Everybody up through May gets unlimited data for free. Like, you don't have to pay if you go over your data limit. So I guess I could be streaming it that way. But also, I'm not a huge fan of watching TV on my phone, especially in bed, because I roll over a lot, and so then I have to grab it.
You need those things that you go around your neck and they
hold
your phone.
I have one of those. I should bring it back, actually. That might be good.
You're going home this weekend. So.
Yeah, I'm going to go home this weekend. I'm not going to talk about why, because that's weird. But Star Trek...
Some of you know, but not everybody.
But it's really good. I watched an episode with Q in it. Do you know who Q is?
I don't know who Q is. I haven't watched Star Trek in a
Q's
long
like
time.
an alien, but he's like got like god powers. Like, it's a whole race of Q, and he's a single guy named Q, and he uses the same physical
Is it just
appearance.
like the letter Q, or is it Q U
No,
E
yeah,
U E?
it's just the letter Q, and he shows up, and he'll dress up, and he'll take them on whimsical adventures. Like, he took the first officer guy and took him to this planet and had him fight some toy soldiers that look like French soldiers from like World War I or something. And then he gave him all the powers of Q. And so because they wanted him to become part of the Q so that they would understand what it's like to be human, and like, because they don't like, or they think humans are kind of neat because they keep trying to expand to different things. And eventually he's like, yeah, I'll use these powers. And he gives all of his friends everything they ever wanted. And they're like, yeah, I don't want it like this. I want to actually earn it. And then he realizes the error of his ways or whatever, and he feels bad. It's like kids programming where you're watching something and it's got like a moral of the story in it, but it's really good, and it's like, it makes you think, and it's really neat. I was really surprised when I looked online, Voyager and The Next Generation under genre, it's not like sci-fi, it's drama.
So it's like a kid's educational cartoon, but for sci-fi nerds.
But for adults, yeah, it's not really kidsy.
Well,
yeah,
I go the way that
they're,
it's Star Trek.
The way that they're doing, like, there's a moral of the story at the end of the day, kind of thing, and it's good. Plus, the guy from Reading Rainbow is in it, and he's blind.
Yes,
he's got glasses that make him see like infrared colors or something.
The more you know.
Da, 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 da.
So, speaking of Q. Did you know that Paige, like the word Q, Q-U-E-U-E, as in like, I'm going to put this song in my queue?
Yeah.
Paige has always thought that it's pronounced cake.
Like
cake.
Cake with a K?
Like
C-A-K-E. Like
yeah,
cake.
she thought it was pronounced cake.
Well, I thought...
And she said that to me one day. We were driving somewhere. She's like, put the song in the cake. I'm like, what did you just say? And she said, the cake. And I said... What's the cake? She said, like, put it up next. I'm like, do you mean the Q? She's like, no, it's cake. I'm like, it is Q.
That's pretty funny.
As in, like, that's your Q. And she goes, what? I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, I can tell you didn't know that. You've been calling it the cake. If anything, it should be pronounced Queewee.
Queewee.
Like, it should be pronounced Queewee. Look how it's spelled.
What is the word I always say wrong? Homage or homage?
Homage.
I would always, I'd say homage.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's
not as bad as adding a whole extra letter.
Yeah.
But
like honest, where they have an extra H at the, like, what honest? Honestly.
Honest. It's like cool whip.
Cool whip.
Star Trek. What else do we have on the list? Actually, that's all of the stuff that we watched this week. Yeah, no, I got the list.
Oh, okay.
We talked about everything that we watched. But with Amazon, so I've got a whole queue. There's all these comics on there. So I've got I'm completely drawing a blank. The Injustice comic book, so it's in the video game universe of that. I've got all that lined up.
And the game's based on the comics, or
no, the comics are based on the games.
So okay, so
there was the first game, and then they made comics leading up to the game afterwards. So like, it's like a prequel kind of. I got Spider-Man Blue, which is like kind of just like a story of Spider-Man's past, or like it's like kind of like the beginning of the Amazing Spider-Man, but just retold in like 2003 or whatever. I got Teen Titans Volume 1, Damian Knows Best. I figured it'd be fun to read after watching the things. Amazing Spider-Man Clone Conspiracy, which was a couple years ago.
I appreciate the Judas Contract, the Teen Titans movie more, because Damian Wayne is actually tolerable.
But also he's in the movie very little.
Yeah, but like when he's in it, he's like actually helpful.
Yeah, I like him. I've always liked him, but I like him more now. I've got Flashpoint, that first movie that we watched. I got the comic of that. There's so much stuff. It's like almost overwhelming. So, but right now I'm reading Spawn, and then I started reading that Dark Knight Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Knight's Metal is so cool. So, there's these like 6 different kinds of metals that if somebody gets exposed to all of them, that person becomes a portal for this like evil bat god to come from the dark universe to take over the like light universe. And so all of this time, all these Batman stories kept introducing these like new metals and like giving people powers. And so in this new one, the last one gets to him or whatever, and this guy comes through, the big bat demon comes through with like, it's supposed to be the host's worst nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Justice League, but every single member is an evil Batman. So the Flash is a Batman who got tired, or like Robin got killed. So he stole the Flash's speed and then murdered all of his villains. So he's an evil Flash Batman. There's an evil Aquaman Batman, but it's a woman, and I don't know how that happened. There's a Batman who injected himself with Doomsday Juice, and because Superman turned evil, so he injected himself with Doomsday Juice to stop Superman, but then he turned evil because of the juice. There's a Green Lantern one. There's a Cyborg one that's actually, I think it's Cyborg being run by an evil Alfred AI, if I remember right. And there's a one where he's wearing the Ares armor because it's like Wonder Woman, and the Batman who laughs. So Batman finally breaks down and kills the Joker and like snaps his neck. And the Joker had Joker gas in his lungs that released, and Batman breathed it in. And basically it gave him like the Joker's consciousness, so he's Batman with all of his detective skills and stuff. I keep burping. All of his detective skills and stuff, but also he's the Joker, so he murders people. I think the AC just turned on.
That was terrifying.
But it's really cool. So they all come through, and then the Justice League have to stop him. I don't know. I haven't got very far, but that's like what I knew about it already. Plus, there's like an album they're releasing. Like there's a metal album. They've got a compilation getting made for this thing for you to read while you like, or listen to while you read. I don't know if it ever came out. I'll have to look that up.
That AC like scared the crap out of me. Like it sounded like somebody was just breathing into my headphone. It was like that.
That's actually kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
So speaking of comics, I just thought of this because we hadn't talked about this, and it's also like among comic fans, it's kind of like a big thing. You know, the new Marvel releases that are kind of controversial right now.
I don't want to get too in depth in it because it's kind of political. But my favorite,
it's definitely
the one I want to talk about is the vampire kid named B Negative. He's emo looking, and his name is literally B Negative.
Basically, a kid who needed a blood transfusion, and for some reason,
I got his blood from a vampire.
Morbius.
Like a known
it was
vampire,
Michael Morbius,
a known vampire in the universe.
So I want to know.
Who's in charge of the blood bank?
Who let Michael Morbius? First of all, why is Michael Morbius donating blood?
I would like to donate some blood. Oh, okay, Dracula. Yeah, just come over here and we'll take some of your undead A-positive blood and give it to this guy.
But we're in the 90s Spider-Man comics. Is he donating it through the suckers on his hands?
Oh, no, that's only in the TV show.
Or that's what I meant, the TV show.
In the TV show, the Spider-Man animated series in the 90s, they had all these limits on what they could do. So they had Morbius, the living vampire, but he wasn't allowed to suck blood, he wasn't allowed to say blood, and he wasn't allowed to bite people. So they gave him these terrifying suckers in his hands, and he would suck the plasma out of you. So he would just go around going, I need plasma. and then he'd give you a massage that killed you.
So what's I don't know what's worse about that Spider-Man show, that or the shocker.
You will never run away from me. I will hunt you to the ends of the earth. It's great. That's a kid from Full House, I think. That
Who's
plays
voice
Spider-Man.
Really?
I can't think of what his name is. I'm not gonna look it up either because I don't care enough.
So, what? So the new Marvel releases. What was the other one? Internet Boy or whatever. He got his powers from inhaling his grandfather's
experimental internet gas.
You know, they could have done something cool. Like he was working on a computer and it got struck by lightning.
He could have been like hooked up to like one of those the beep things.
Oh, an EKG
an
thing?
EKG,
Yeah.
and somehow something happened and it somehow hooked him in the internet or something.
That would have been way cooler.
But he inhaled internet gas.
What is internet gas?
What is internet gas? Is that like when you've been sitting at your computer for too long and you have one of those really rank farts? He just breathed in one of his grandpa's farts and got internet power.
Well, I was saying like, now that I think about it, like getting sitting at the computer, getting struck, the computer gets struck by lightning, and you get internet powers.
And you become like a virtual like thing, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's the plot of Freakazoid.
Oh.
I think that's actually how Freakazoid starts.
Well, I haven't watched it, so I can make whatever I want, and they can't say I plagiarized. Could be like, I didn't know.
Suck it, Steven Spielberg. But yeah, so the Marvel new releases, big topic, controversy. We're not going to really talk about it because there's some political stuff going on there. But
holy cow, they made everybody mad.
Oh yeah.
So
but I'll say this though, the audience they're trying to reach, they did not do it in the right way.
They made them mad.
Yeah, they made them mad, and they basically took, characteristics and ideologies of that audience, and they made fun of them and made them into superheroes.
And they expected them to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth looking into. It's not hard to find online because everybody's mad about it.
You know what's really disappointing? Metallica. So you told me that Ride the Lightning was your favorite album by them. So I went and checked it out. The very first song has a really cool like guitar riff, and then it gets ruined because the drummer sounds like he's playing like a first grader drum beat behind it, and like it doesn't go along with it at all, like the feel.
It's like you have this really cool complex, well, not complex, but this really cool technically impressive guitar riff going on, the singer's doing his thing, and then you have a rock beat in the background
going and it just feels out of place.
It feels more like a trap beat.
It feels really out of place.
Yeah.
Like you listen to it and go, that doesn't really sound like it takes away how heavy the song could be, I think. And so I couldn't even like I'm gonna have to try to listen to the album again, but those first two songs turned me off from the album like instantly.
The second one did?
The second one had drums similar. It's the drummer. So I play the drums.
It's just Lars.
But I play the drums though, and when I hear that stuff, it bugs me. Because for a while, when I was playing bass a lot in like worship sets, whenever I'd hear songs, I'd listen to the bass instead of anything else, just like subconsciously. And so I started listening to more songs where I thought the bass lines were more interesting. And right now, since I'm in drummer mode, because I'm doing all this like lesson stuff, I'm kind of listening to the drums more, and I can't do it. It bugs me. He's bad. They should have fired him a long time ago.
They thought about it once, and they didn't.
They should have done it.
Because you know what? That means that Injustice for All would be a billion times better.
Would have had actual bass in it. So Injustice for All was another Metallica album, and I was listening to it because your teacher really likes it, and I was in a band with him, so I was like, I'll check it out. And when they were recording it, the drummer told the mixer guy, the producer guy said, okay, I need you to bring the bass down so you can barely hear it. He went, okay. And he said, now bring it down 6 more. And so he moved it 6 more things down. And that's why there's like no bass on the album at all, because the drummer told him to turn it down.
And then he also was like, okay, I want my snare drum to sound like this. I want my bass drum to basically cranked himself up really loud, turned the bass all the way down. And then everybody just went with it. The producer then called the record company and said, get me off this project.
It's not going to sound like how I want it to, and I really love this band. And they're like, nah.
And then they brought another guy in. He fixed it.
No, they didn't.
I thought that you said some guy fixed it, and then.
So originally, before they recorded the bass, the drummer had the drums sound really bad.
Okay.
And this producer fixed it, and then the drummer said, no, you got to make it bad again, and you got to take the bass out. And then he called them and said, "Hey, I can't do this. I really like this band, and they're ruining this album for me." And they were like, too bad." And so he released it knowing it was bad. But like, it's
not a bad like the album itself is not bad.
It doesn't sound bad.
My problem with that album is
it's sonically bad.
Well, it takes effort to listen to it
also,
because
every song's at least 5 or 6 minutes long. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you have to commit time to listen to it and actually think about it.
Or you can just not, like, if you're driving and not thinking about it, it goes by pretty easily. Speaking about going by pretty easily, how about going through you pretty quickly, Burrito Boy?
Ayo, it's food review time. So
I can't believe this has become an actual thing, like a little bit that we're doing.
Well, it's because we don't care what we put into our bodies, and then we decide to destroy our innards for the entertainment of the people who listen to this.
I'm drinking a frappe, a Mountain Dew, and a water all at the same time.
One of those things is healthy.
Mountain Dew.
We'll get to that.
Tell them about your burrito, boy.
So,
touch my phone. What are you doing?
It's on the list.
Are you reading the list?
Yes, I forgot what my thing was called. Yes, so Taco John's right now has their newest menu item called the Boss Burrito. It is
Boss Baby Burrito.
It is 1 pound, very dense, and as long as my forearm, which isn't saying much because I'm a small person.
You're a very small person. You're like 3'8", remember?
Yeah. So this burrito, it has typical burrito stuff. Meat, you have a choice between like rice and chicken. Rice isn't a meat. I just realized that.
You're right. Rice is not a meat.
It has
Vegans.
steak or chicken. It comes with rice and beans and your choice of pico de gallo and corn salsa. So I got chicken and corn salsa in it, and it was very delicious. And what else? I got it like a medium meal, so it came with Olays and a drink. And
what'd you think of your gigantic burrito, your Boss Baby burrito?
It was the Boss Baby. Like,
I mean, it probably weighed more than a baby. That thing was gigantic. You let me hold it.
It's heavy.
It's gigantic.
It was heavy.
If you gave birth to a baby that size, I'd say, man,
it's a big
that's
baby.
That's not a normal sized baby. That is a large Boss Baby.
If I gave birth to that baby, I'd say, hey, how'd my burrito turn into a baby?
I had the...
because I had a food baby afterwards.
Yeah, you did.
Ooh.
I thought the food baby was just like when you ate so much you looked pregnant. I didn't think the food baby was the poop.
No, the food baby is just the fact that you're full and you got a lot in you.
Oh, I was going to say, because my food babies are generally completely liquid.
And like all babies, they must come out, and when they do, sometimes they hurt. And you can't get a C-section for these.
Can you? Just have a doctor cut into you and remove your poop?
I think the alternative to
that... Oh,
yeah,
we got to say dupe. Dude. It'd be dude, because we keep peeking with the P's. We keep deaking with the D's, so we got to say dude.
Dude, I'm going to take a big dude after this.
You better not, because I got to take a big dude like right now, but I'm going to continue on.
Power through.
I ate the quesadilla taco. Mm-hmm. So I don't like vegetables or fruit or kindness. So I got it without the pico de gallo or whatever was supposed to come with it. So it was chipotle sauce and grilled chicken, and then it was a soft shell taco shell or whatever, and what's the spicy cheese called? Pepper jack cheese, and another. So it was like a quesadilla that they fried, and then they folded it in half and put the meat in the middle like a taco. And mine were like a fourth of the size of your burrito, but I got 2 of them, and they're really good.
I gotta try those.
The only thing is, I prefer Taco Bell. Taco Bell's got cheaper food. It's got more like weird options.
Yeah,
but
they have more. They definitely have better variety stuff.
Taco John's has potato olays, and those are so stinking good. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, because
they're just tater tots, but they got seasoning.
Well, no, they're more like hash browns, because their potato olays are. If you go to Hardee's, they have breakfast hash browns, which are literally just those without the seasoning. And then the square hash browns you get at McDonald's is just a big square version of a potato olay, but without the Mexican seasoning or whatever it is they use. But they're so good.
They're like McDonald's fries.
That is the only saving grace for Taco John's. Like, if they didn't have those, I'd never go there. Well, that's not true. So in my not in my town, but the town nearby where we go to get like groceries and eat food and stuff, I had it down packed where each restaurant has the best drinks. So McDonald's has the best Coke and Sprite, and Hardee's has the orange drink.
Sunkist
The,
or Fanta?
the orange
High
juice
C?
stuff, the high C stuff, and that's the best.
High C is so
But then
good.
they also have cherry Coke, which is good, and then Taco John's has the best Mountain Dew. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, Taco John's Mountain Dew is so good.
I don't know what it is they do with the Mountain Dew. It's like they add too much sauce or what, but it's so good.
But
I've said sauce so much this episode. What would you call it? Gloop? Mountain Gloop?
Mountain syrup.
Glued. I can't say. There's good. Oh yeah, I'm playing 8-ball. I don't know. Is pool like taken? Like, is that legally taken? Because on the Game Pigeon, where you play the games over text, it's called 8-ball. 8-ball, not pool.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just pool.
I don't know.
That's weird to me. Maybe that's why they're not called pool halls anymore. They're called 8-ball halls.
Eight balls.
8 balls.
Let's go down to the local 8-ball and shoot some 8-ball.
Well, 8
wait,
balls.
wait, 8-ball's a drug though. But
What?
8-ball's a drug.
What?
Like, I think it's like a measurement for cocaine. Like, hey, can I get an 8-ball of cocaine?
Is that like the size of an 8-ball?
Yeah, which I'm guessing is
That's
a lot.
heavy, isn't it? Or is it just?
it's not dense.
Is it the
like,
weight, or is it just the size?
It's like the size. I think. I don't know. I haven't done drugs in at least 10 years.
I haven't done drugs in 20. So then I couldn't have. Speaking of food, so after we completely trashed Frostbite, we went and bought Frostbite from Walmart.
So
you didn't buy it.
Yeah, I did.
Well, no, you didn't buy it at first, and then I didn't go buy it.
Well, because we had a bet where he wouldn't grow a nasty mustache, and he did, so I had to buy a 12-pack.
You owed me like $5.
Well, I owed him money anyway, so I just bought this 12-pack of Mountain Dew Frostbite, and it's actually good. It's a melon flavor, but it's like a bland melon flavor.
It tastes like watermelon. Like I wasn't expecting. It's blue. The cover is actually really cool.
It's got a shark on it.
It's got a really angry shark on it.
But why did they choose
Frostbite for spring?
I know.
Why a shark, and what does sharks have to do with watermelon? These are life's most important
It's the
questions.
Easter shark.
The Easter shark.
It's the Easter shark.
I'm coming to give you some eggs. I'm coming to kill less of you than monkeys do per year. But
is that like the marketing campaign for Jaws, like back in the 70s?
Jaws. This year, sharks kill more people than cows.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun. But it tastes actually. It's like if you've ever had watermelon
Airheads.
Airheads. It tastes like that, but in liquid form, and it's not green, so it messes with your brain.
But it's good though.
It is pretty good. I was really surprised.
The other day, it was so good I didn't.
So good that you didn't even know you were drinking.
I was drinking Liberty Brew and I thought it was Frostbite.
So all of the cans of Mountain Dew in our fridge are arguably blue. We've got Baja Blast,
which
cans,
is kind of blue. It's greenish.
You're
blue.
not paying attention. It's blue. Then there's Liberty Brew, which is supposed to taste like 50 different flavors of berries mixed. And then there's this one, and all of them have a band around the top that say limited time only, except Frostbite. And I looked over and he was drinking one, and he had it in a koozie. And I went, "What are you drinking?" He went, "Frostbite." I went, "No, you're not." "Yeah, I am." And he looked at it and I went, "No, it's got a band around." He pulled it out and he was drinking Liberty Brew and had no idea.
Like, I don't know.
Liberty Brew tastes like
nothing.
I was gonna say fruit, but I don't know what fruit tastes like. It tastes like a bunch of berries. Like there's an obvious difference.
You know, Liberty. Like we bought Liberty Brew, and then we decided it's not that cool.
I like it,
Witchcraft.
but not like amazing. He said witchcraft because I was balancing a can of Mountain Dew, not because of the flavor of Liberty Brew.
I can't even describe the flavor of Liberty Brew. I drank it once when it came out, and I'm like, it's not that good. You know what else sucked? Mountain Dew Voodoo.
Mountain Dew Voodoo was so bad. It's supposed to taste like candy corn.
And it like
candy corn's not even good as it is. Why would you put it into a liquid form?
I like candy corn.
Candy corn is the Animal Crossing of Halloween candies. Bad.
Wow. Dude. Be nice.
No.
Once again, we're all ears if somebody would like to give us a legitimate reason why Animal Crossing has appeal. Because if I want to go into debt, I'm already in college.
Well, he's all ears. I actually have eyes, nose, and a mouth in like a body and arms and legs and stuff. Although at least 3 of my fingers are actually noses. So I guess I'd be statistically more all noses than all ears.
I don't understand this, so I'm just gonna keep talking.
I'm gonna leave it in too, just to confuse everybody. I was gonna say our viewers, but they're listeners.
We don't have audio. We don't have video watch.
We'd have viewers. I hope the people that watch our YouTube video don't actually sit there and stare at the YouTube video the
like
whole
you
hour.
put it on and you go do, you put it.
I hope you're doing homework or something and not just like sitting there watching the weird
because
audio thing.
Spoiler alert: the picture doesn't change.
Well, it kind of does. It's got like a little audio wave that moves.
Okay, so that's just there to keep it from getting burned into your display on your computer.
Yeah. I'm about at the same level of empty with all three of my liquids. I guess.
And your soul.
My soul's pretty empty. So our last thing on the list that we forgot to talk about last week: fun alternatives to toilet paper in these trying times. Toilet paper. Huh. I'm thinking we've got like, I guess no, we still have them. We've got like 5 or 6 empty 12-pack boxes of Mountain Dew. We could just cut it up into squares.
Yeah.
And you could just, instead of like wiping, you can fold it into like kind of like
a cone.
Well, I was going to say like a chip
like,
shape.
Yeah.
And then like instead of scooping the nachos off a plate, you can just scoop the extra poop out of your butt.
I hope nobody's eating during this.
You could use the tried and true poop sock where you just put a sock on your hand and just go right through and clean it.
Throw it right in the laundry and then you just get another poop sock.
Oh no, you just keep it on your hands when you wash your hands and just clean it like that. Because your hand inside will be fine. It's just you just gotta scrub it a little bit and good for another
Fair enough.
use.
There's the
honestly,
there's the toilet paper roll method. Like if you don't have any toilet paper, but you have the cardboard rolls, you just poop through that, so none of it actually touches your butt
I
cheeks.
thought you were gonna say wipe with the toilet. That's awful. I love it. if you just like sit down and spread yourself, can you just like? Will it be clean?
I don't know. Like I feel like if you got a lot of hair though, it's gonna get all caught. It'd be like trying to clean peanut butter. It'd be like trying to clean peanut butter out of shag carpet. It'd be like.
I mean, all those seniors in high school right now that are just like done. If you have any library books checked out that you're never gonna be able to return now, might as well just use the pages out of those. You still got a copy of.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
No, I was gonna say the one with the thought bubbles on the front. About the guy with cancer or the girl with cancer and she doesn't die. The other one dies first, or
A Fault in Our Stars.
Yes, A Fault in Our Stars. You still got a copy of that lying around from the library that you forgot to return. Just use those pages to wipe your dirty bum.
I don't read John Green or really.
I'm wasting our toilet paper because every morning I'm also blowing my
know.
nose with it.
I was gonna say something to you about that, but I'm like,
How else am I? We don't have Kleenexes.
dude, I can go buy Kleenexes.
Well, buy them because all I got is toilet paper to blow my nose with.
We're getting down to what, 6 rolls?
I don't know. I'm gonna go home here in a bit. I'll just steal some from my parents' house. We could just steal some from the school when we go because nobody's using those bathrooms.
That is correct.
Well, not steal. We will borrow.
We'll bring it back when we're done.
Bring it back when we're done. We'll save it in a bag. That is disgusting. We haven't reached a full hour, but we're kind of running out of things to talk about.
So what other disgusting things can we do to pass our time during coronavirus season?
What other things can we... So
what can we do to pass the time? Because honestly, video games and movies, they'll get you so far, and then you're like, you got to get up and do something.
I'm running out of things to do. If you're watching this on YouTube, first of all, like and subscribe. You're
Please.
stupid. If we've got 14 views on a video and only 11 subscribers,
it doesn't do any good.
There's at least 3 of you that haven't subscribed, and I will hunt you down and find you.
And I'll tickle.
But also, we only have 2 likes, and one of them is me because I keep liking our videos. So, if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this on YouTube, seriously comment something we can do to keep from going insane. If you're listening to this
because you're on YouTube anyway because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on other things though, we post this on Facebook. Comment on the Facebook post or Twitter or something. Give us some audience engagement because I know you keep sending him messages complaining about what we talk about. What was it that we heard? We had some complaints.
Did we? I can't.
Yeah, remember because Imagine Dragons.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Imagine Dragons aren't very good, so stop trying to defend them.
Sorry, Brad.
You can't say his name.
Sorry.
Because now he knows.
Sorry, Thad.
So, I will change his name. John. Sorry, John C. Riley, but
how much time do we have left? Because I seriously.
I mean, I really have to poop, so we're probably just gonna be done right now.
So one thing I want to say, and we can go to the outro as soon as I'm done saying this. I promise.
I might go to the outro before you say it because I'm tired of waiting.
Okay, well here it is. Not to spoil the ending of Doom Eternal or anything, but I think it's really cool that Pickle Rick